We also have talked, even on this channel, about Angel's very dramatic response to that. Angel Reese started with, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person," which is interesting since she's been coached before.
It's almost unbelievable that despite facing a lawsuit over steroid allegations, Angel Reese continues to stir up controversy with her bold statements. This time, she dropped a bombshell about none other than her coach, Teresa Weatherspoon. If betrayal had a face, it would definitely look like Teresa's right now.
And unfortunately, it seems like, according to some new reports, that relationship cost her her job.
Chicago Sky officials are publicly saying that Teresa's suspension was due to the team's performance. But hold up, Angel Reese is out here spilling some major tea, claiming that's not the real story.
Point being, she disrespected the official. That was the official response to this.
So, why is Angel Reese doing this? Are her allegations actually true, or is this just another dramatic twist in the Angel Reese saga? Let's break it all down from the start, because things are getting messy. Since then, the internet has been on fire, and it's all thanks to Angel Reese.
Now you have a rivalry here. Angel Reese wants to be Draymond Green. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball.
Once hyped as the next big thing in the WNBA, Angel Reese now finds herself at the center of a scandal so wild it's shaking the league to its core. After months of rumors swirling, the truth finally came out. Reese allegedly turned to performance-enhancing drugs in a desperate bid to stay in the spotlight. When you can't keep up with the rising talent in the league, what do you do? Well, for Reese, it seems the answer was turning to steroids to bridge that gap.
Angel Reese is the villain, Caitlin Clark is the hero, and Angel Reese continued to play into it last night by getting ejected, and it's almost like it's all scripted. This is perfect for the WNBA. She's all the talk. She's the one standing up there in front of reporters saying, "I need all of you guys to realize there's two of us that changed the game of women's basketball, and it's not just Caitlin Clark. I was a part of that 2 years ago in the national championship game, and it's going to continue to be that way from here on out." I kind of love it. I don't agree with her. It's way more Caitlin Clark than it is Angel Reese.
And then, boom, the news dropped that Reese tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and the entire WNBA world lost its collective mind. The Chicago Sky, her team at the time, quickly suspended her while they conducted an investigation. But let's be real, we all saw where this was headed.
Because anybody who's watching could see that what was going on with Chicago and with Angel Reese and the double-double streak and all that stuff wasn't good for Angel, wasn't good for the rest of the team, wasn't good for the whole organization.
The moment those test results came back, Reese's career took a nosedive faster than her shot percentage in the fourth quarter. Her public image was already on thin ice, but this scandal shattered it completely. The Sky cut her loose, and fans across the league were left picking their jaws up off the floor.
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese.
The drugs Reese allegedly used weren't just some over-the-counter vitamins. Nope. She reportedly went for EPO, erythropoietin, a serious performance enhancer designed to boost stamina and endurance by increasing red blood cell production. You know, the same stuff cyclists and marathon runners use to turn into superhumans. On top of that, she supposedly dabbled in anabolic steroids, which build muscle faster than you can say. Bad decision. Both of these substances are, of course, strictly banned under WADA's regulations, and the WNBA isn't playing around with this kind of thing. Athletes caught using these banned drugs usually face a harsh reality: suspensions, public humiliation, and a big question mark over their entire career.
The addiction is real. The addiction to attention is real.
So, what drove Reese to this? Pressure. Pressure to stay relevant, and not just to play in the league, but to stand out in a league now dominated by the likes of Caitlin Clark, who basically spent her rookie year rewriting the WNBA record book. Clark lit up the court, averaging 20 points per game, breaking assist records, and making everyone else look like they were moving in slow motion. Meanwhile, Reese struggled to keep up.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing she should focus on is just finishing around the rim. That is something where maybe her rebounds will be halved. However, she will still make such an impact.
Reese still made an impact, with her 11.5 points and 9.2 rebounds per game, not bad numbers. But compared to Clark's supernova-level performance, it was like trying to compete in a foot race with a jet engine. And let's be real, a lot of Reese's rebounds came from picking up her own missed shots, hardly the mark of someone dominating the game. But that's the thing about pressure, it can push people to do things they never thought they'd do. The rumors swirling around Reese's steroid use paint a pretty sad picture of an athlete who just couldn't keep up with Clark's spotlight and chose to take the easy way out. Instead of embracing the grind and pushing herself harder, Reese reportedly turned to performance enhancers, hoping they'd close the gap between her and the league's elite. Spoiler alert, they didn't. What they did do was get her caught and booted from the Chicago Sky faster than you can say scandal.
Angel Reese said, hey, she'll play the villain role. Kennedy Carter certainly embraces that as well. Chad, right after we're discussing Angel Reese and the villain in the storyline and the plot that brings eyeballs to the product of Caitlin Clark on tour across the WNBA. She's ejected for the first time in her WNBA career.
What's especially tragic about this whole situation is that Reese didn't need to go down this path. She had the talent. When she first entered the league, everyone thought her rivalry with Caitlin Clark would be the next great storyline in women's basketball. Instead, she's become the face of one of the biggest doping scandals the WNBA has ever seen. Fans and analysts are now questioning everything. Was Reese ever playing clean? Was her entire career built on a lie? It's the kind of fall from grace that leaves you shaking your head.
Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment of losing Rookie of the Year to Caitlin Clark?
The Chicago Sky didn't waste any time. They suspended Reese as soon as the investigation began. When the positive test results came back, it was game over. The WNBA, which has been working hard to expand its fan base and build its brand, now finds itself in a PR nightmare. One of its most recognizable players is now the poster child for cheating, and the league is left scrambling to clean up the mess.
And Angel Reese is stirring this up, so while she doesn't, Angel Reese always comes off as the victim.
Let's not forget about the mental toll all this must have taken on Reese. Some reports suggest that the pressure she was under, especially with all the comparisons to Caitlin Clark, was eating away at her. While Clark was out there breaking records, signing endorsement deals, and leading her team to the playoffs, Reese found herself on a team that couldn't even sniff success. The frustration, constant criticism, and relentless media spotlight likely pushed her to make some terrible decisions. Unfortunately for Reese, she chose the worst possible way to try and get ahead.
If you're a big star, you should not need to beg for attention. If you're a big star, you should not have to exploit yourself.
But hey, before you start feeling sorry for Angel Reese, hold up on those sympathy horses. The fallout from her steroid scandal sent the Chicago Sky into complete chaos, like a reality show nobody signed up for. It turns out the scandal didn't just mess with Reese's career, it practically detonated the entire locker room. Her teammates are not happy, and trust has been completely shattered.
Angel Reese needs Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark does not need Angel Reese.
For someone who was supposed to be a leader, turning to illegal substances didn't just break the rules, it shattered the bond she had with her team. When trust in the locker room is gone, so is the team spirit. The Sky players couldn't rally behind her anymore. They were already grappling with a season that was going off the rails, and now their star player had swung the final wrecking ball through it.
She's pissed off because they're not just like, it's not just about one player. It's about me too. And it's like, wait, time out. Nobody, I haven't even seen it. This is the.
Oh, and let's not forget about the plot twist involving Teresa Weatherspoon, the Chicago Sky head coach. In a twist straight out of a bad sports drama, rumors began swirling that Weatherspoon might have had a hand in this whole steroid mess.
Angel Reese and her coach, former coach, I should say, Teresa Weatherspoon. We had all heard a few weeks ago that the Chicago Sky said goodbye to Teresa Weatherspoon, saying that it was time to, quote, make a change.
Yep, the very coach who was supposed to be steering the ship might have actually pushed Reese toward the iceberg. Allegedly, Weatherspoon, desperate to save the team's sinking 13-27 record, suggested that Reese try a little boost. It was a desperate season, and it seems like Weatherspoon thought, why not? It's the kind of rumor that makes you wonder if you've stumbled into an alternate universe where the coach is dishing out bad advice instead of game plans.
Angel Reese, Chicago Sky, had major culture issue under fired head coach. That, of course, is Teresa Weatherspoon. First-year coach criticized for tailoring game plan to benefit Reese. And again, many of us could see it coming.
Weatherspoon hadn't even been with the Sky for long, just one season. She came in hot, hoping to turn things around, but instead, everything went downhill fast. The pressure from management, the terrible season record, and the rising frustration all seemed to push her to the edge. Insiders say she was so fed up with losing that she allegedly encouraged Reese to juice up, fully aware of the risks involved.
And that it may have led to her demise, which was reported from Annie Costabile. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. She's with the Chicago Sun-Times, and she recently reported that Weatherspoon was tailoring the Sky's game around one or two players, led to some serious dysfunction inside the locker room.
And when that scandal broke, Chicago's front office didn't hesitate. They pulled the plug on Weatherspoon faster than you could say scandal. Out the door she went, fired in the same breath as Reese. The message was loud and clear. The Sky weren't going to tolerate any of this mess. Weatherspoon's firing wasn't just about getting rid of a coach who couldn't deliver wins. It was about cleaning house, wiping the slate clean, and distancing the team from anything and anyone associated with the scandal. Her reputation as a coach took a major hit. What was once a promising career built on leadership and player development is now overshadowed by this disaster.
That's going to cause some serious dysfunction because, let's be for real, every team wants to believe in the coach, etc. But teammates and your team has eyes. They can see what we can see. They may not get in front of the microphone and say it, but they saw what was going on with Angel Reese and how committed, for lack of a better word, Teresa Weatherspoon was to Angel Reese and this ridiculous foe.
The fact that both Reese and Weatherspoon were let go at the same time wasn't just a coincidence, it was a statement. The Chicago Sky needed to rid themselves of every toxic influence if they had any hope of starting over. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark's rise in the WNBA has been nothing short of legendary.
For the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership.
We are talking next-level dominance here. The kind that makes you wonder if Caitlin Clark is secretly powered by rocket fuel or something. While Angel Reese's name is now tangled in a steroid scandal that's derailing her career faster than you can say bad decision, Clark's rise to fame has been built on nothing but pure skill, hard work, and unbreakable mental toughness. As Clark was out there lighting it up, Reese was, well, not keeping up.
But everybody had an opinion on Angel Reese, and Angel Reese is stirring this up. So while she doesn't, Angel Reese always comes off as the victim.
For every record Clark broke, Reese's game seemed to fall apart a little more. Clark wasn't just racking up stats, she was becoming the face of the league. Brands were practically throwing money at her, and Nike handed her a $28 million contract like it was nothing. splashing headlines everywhere. The best part? She didn't need drama, controversy, or any villain persona to grab the spotlight.